Hi, I'm Jeremy, and welcome to... Thank you for joining us for the Monday show. I'm all alone today, as you may remember. First story of today. Last week we talked about Occupy Unmasked. Today, the really big news is that the anti-Obama flick 2016, Obama's America, has now surpassed all but one political documentary from the past. The number one spot, of course, being held by Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11, which was really, really huge back in 2004 when he released it before the election. But, this year it's doing pretty well. It won't ever catch up to Fahrenheit 9/11 because it was like $100 million, and right now 2016 is at like $26 million. But it's okay because, it's gaining some traction. But that's all the political news I really wanted to talk about today. Now, science, where the Higgs boson discovery that CERN and the Large Hadron Collider people made back in July, now they've written papers and done, dissertations and things, and they're being published in actual scientific magazines, which makes it, for lack of a better term, real science. And, I hate that term real science because real scientists sometimes get suppressed by the people who publish real science, but that's a totally different story. But moving on to some scary world-ending but not really news, the drug traffickers that have been moving stuff from South America and Central America up to the U.S. to, hit the biggest drug market in the world, they've apparently been stepping up their game really hard because now, instead of just like speedboats and leisure boats and, trying to smuggle stuff up, kind of, stealthily, they're going super stealth and going submersible, like completely under the water submarine stuff where they can sail from like the borders of South America all the way to LA or, Jacksonville or wherever. I don't know stuff on the East Coast. I pretend like I do, but I don't really. Point being that these guys can actually sail all the way up here and almost completely undetected. And by the time we detect them, usually they're already dropping their stuff off or really close to dropping their stuff off. So it's kind of scary when you think about it that, they can do this completely undetected. Why can't, a terrorist do stuff like that completely undetected? Which is why the DHS is actually really stepping up their game against the drug traffickers, because, if they can do it against those guys, they can do it against the really bad guys. Not saying cartels aren't really bad guys. They're all really bad guys. Let's move on. And upwards up to Seattle, Washington, where apparently an FAA investigation is happening very, very close to where I have a bit of family. In Kent, outside of Seattle, a door from a landing gear of a plane fell randomly in the middle of a street, and they're really not sure what happened. They're trying to figure it out, but luckily nobody was hurt. So, yay, and, guys, be safe. Part of that being aware thing, sometimes stuff falls from the sky. We're weird people now. And jumping over to Kansas City, Missouri, where a man apparently high on PCP dove out of a moving car, got run over, stood back up, and then went to one of the people who had stopped to try and help him's cars and saw a baby girl who he seemed to recognize and tried to get her out of her car seat. Well, the little 1-month-old parents were kind of aggressively against that idea, so started, punching him and trying to him away from it. And other people who had stopped to help the guy that got run over came to their aid. Apparently his family are trying to defend him as, well, he just lost his baby daughter, and that's why he went for the baby daughter, so he really didn't mean her any harm or whatever. I have to say, if you're trying to defend somebody on PCP, that something that they did wasn't wrong, I'm going to tell you right now, your case is closed and your argument is invalid. And you guys know me and AJ are a big fan of like studies and things that, tell you things you need to know. One that particularly came out today was about iPads and the digital devices that we take to bed with us or right before we go to bed, like this monitor that you're looking at me and I'm looking at you in. The thing is, apparently the melatonin that is produced that helps you go to sleep doesn't kick in for about an hour to 2 hours after you are exposed to this blue light that you're looking at. It's considered a bluish kind of hue. If you actually look through like, orange tinted, dark tinted glasses, maybe you'd get to sleep a little better at night. Not to toot my own horn, I swear it's science. But the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is actually kind of a big deal to me because, you know, we have this ongoing, we're trying to get war waged on us by North Korea thing. Apparently, they're actually doing something that doesn't suck today. North Korea got hit by Cyclone Bolaben in August, and it really, really messed up their country. Like, we complain about a lot of stuff that hits, like, Louisiana and all that, and a lot of people are just placed there not to make any light of anything that's going on there or has gone on there, but these people have way less than we do and way less access to resources than we do. And so South Korea has, every time that North Korea gets hit by something like this, South Korea is like, hey, you know, you want some aid? And usually North Korea is like, go suck an egg, we're still at war, which is really kind of true. So apparently North Korea is like, you know what? This kind of sucks. Thanks for the aid today, guys. Yeah, all right. So the South Korean Red Cross is bringing them aid and is alleviating some of the world suck that is perpetrated by the Kim Jong blank regime. Whoever thought North Korea would have a win on this show? But really, that's most of what mattered to me today. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the world. Don't just take our word for it. Don't just take anybody else's word for things. Go look it up yourself. We'd kind of like if you click the links down there and you could like or favorite or comment or subscribe. We love all of that. You know, share us with your friends. It's a lot of fun, I swear, sometimes. But as always, I'm Jeremy. These are extraordinary times, and as they say in my hometown, be aware. False. That's a really loud truck. And I can actually say what I'm trying to say. I don't remember how I started this. And I'm speaking stupid science today. Now you guys... No, your footsteps kind of suck right now. No. Stop it. Hold on. You distracted me. Stop! Rah! Eagerness! I hate you. Alright, whatever the hell you're gonna do, just come and do it.
No, can't do it now. You being aware of it's just not gonna work.
I'm waiting.
No.